What is the abomination of desolation? When is it going to happen? How will we know it is going to happen soon? And we're starting in Daniel chapter 9, verse 37. It reads, "And he shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week, and for half of the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abominations shall come one who makes desolate, until the decreed end is poured out on the desolator." Before we discuss this verse, we need to understand what is meant by week, so we will jump to Numbers chapter 14, verse 34. It says, "According to the number of the days in which you spied out the land, 40 days, a year for each day, you shall bear your iniquity 40 years, and you shall know my displeasure." From this verse, we can see that one day can prophetically be 1 year. This isn't always the case. Sometimes it can mean 1,000 years, but in this case, it means 1 year. We know that because 1 week is 7 days, and the tribulation period is 7 years, making it a perfect match. That means that 3.5 years into the tribulation period, the abomination of desolation will take place, which means it will happen during the 4th seal of Revelation, assuming you believe as I do, that each seal represents 1 year of the tribulation period. Another key thing to consider is that the Antichrist can't take away these sacrifices if they haven't started yet. This is an obvious sign that the abomination of desolation could take place soon, but we don't know if these sacrifices will start before the tribulation period, if they start right before the abomination of desolation, or somewhere in between. There is a different sign of when the abomination of desolation will occur, but I will discuss it later in the video. But right now, we're going to talk a little about the sacrifices that will be taken away. In Exodus chapter 29, verses 38 and 39, it says, "Now this is what you shall offer on the altar: 2 lambs a year old day by day regularly. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight." From this passage, we see that there are to be regular daily sacrifices, 2 each day, 1 in the morning and 1 at twilight. Keep that in mind as we read Daniel chapter 8, verses 13 and 14. It says, "Then I heard a holy one speaking, and another one said to the one who spoke, 'For how long is the vision concerning the regular burnt offering, the transgression that makes desolate, and the giving over the sanctuary and host to be trampled underfoot?' And he said to me, 'For 2,300 evenings and mornings. Then the sanctuary shall be restored to its rightful state.'" We see from these verses that the sanctuary is going to be given over and trampled, and that is to be for 2,300 evenings and mornings. If it were to simply say 2,300 days, it would be about 6 1/3 years. That's likely too long, considering that there will only be 3.5 years of tribulation after the abomination of desolation occurs. But if we say that counting evenings and mornings means each day counts as 2, we can divide 2,300 by 2 and get 1,150 days, which is a little over 3 years, which makes a lot more sense than 2,300 days in my opinion. Also, because the sanctuary will be restored to its rightful state, that indicates temple worship can be a good thing. But now we will read more about the abomination of desolation in Daniel chapter 11, verse 31. "Forces from him shall appear and profane the temple and fortress, and shall take away the regular burnt offering, and they shall set up the abomination that makes desolate." In this verse, the Antichrist is sending forces to profane the temple, and they take away the regular burnt offering. When they set up the abomination that makes desolate, that's the abomination of desolation. I think this could be them making a setup for the Antichrist to sit on a throne and have the Antichrist declare himself God. but it could also be an abominable sacrifice or something along those lines. But as agreed, we need to discuss another sign that the abomination of desolation is near. In Luke chapter 21, verses 20 through 24, it reads, "But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know that its desolation has come near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let those who are inside the city depart, and let those who are not in the country enter it. For these are days of vengeance, to fulfill all that is written. Alas for women who are pregnant, and for those who are nursing infants in those days. For there will be great distress upon the earth, and wrath against this people. They will fall by the edge of the sword and be led captive among all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled, before the abomination of desolation occurs." A big conflict is going to be occurring around Jerusalem. There is a warning for those who are in Judea, so if you are there when it happens, you need to heed this warning. Because Jerusalem is going to be trampled for a while, I would say for 3 to 3.5 years. And while this is going to be a scary event, at least we will be halfway through the tribulation period. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, and I encourage you to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.